These, cigarettes, do you call them? They taste wonderful. We haven't got a thing like this on Mars.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Welcome. Absolutely nobody watching at the moment, but it doesn't matter because I am coming at you live from Welcome Maiden. Thank you, sweetheart. I was feeling so very alone. Usually the intro cut-off point, if there's nobody watching, I can abandon all hope and erase the stream, but at least you're here. We're up to 4 now. Woohoo! Everything is turning up Millhouse, although not so much because I am in the middle of Hurricane Grace, and I was without power for about 30 minutes, not the longest time to go without power, but certainly without power in a hurricane, all of a sudden you start to think to yourself, my goodness, all my preps I left behind in Toronto, Canada, am I going to need them? Now I don't have them. But we are, as I said, let's have a little look outside. I doubt you'll be able to see much. It is pretty dark, but you might be able to hear. And the other beauty of it is I've got Wi-Fi in my apartment now. Hello, Liz. Hi from City Murder. Utica, waiting Hurricane Grace. Don't tell me it hasn't arrived yet. Always nice to have a local. I'm only a recent resident of Cancun. I've only been here 3 weeks. Recently moved here from Toronto, Canada, and what a baptism of fire it is here. Welcome, Tuna, over there in Western Supermare in the UK, where I was once originally from. So, Liz, I really don't have an awful lot of geographical knowledge of the area so much. I'm currently in the Bonfil area, if or not you know where that is. Hello, Saul Gomez. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Don't expect very much. I am in my sort of basement. I'm getting my shit together since the move from Toronto when I sort of lost my computer, but luckily enough, I do got a new computer. I do got Wi-Fi, which is free. I managed to hook onto a local source of free Wi-Fi, which is providing me the ability to come streaming at you this evening at around 3 a.m. local time. It's actually 5 to 3 here in Cancun, Mexico. Something I wasn't able to do so often in Toronto, Canada due to roommates was stream after midnight. A little bit of respect for other people. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but the wind is howling. A little while ago, as I did mention briefly, I was without power, and it seemed that the power went out in the whole neighborhood. There wasn't a light to be seen. It was literally pitch black in the howling of the wind. Certainly did add a little bit of scariness to it. I have lived through earthquakes, ice storms, and all sorts of frigid, horrific winter-like conditions up in Canada over 9 years, and I did actually experience a hurricane many years ago while vacationing in Florida. But this is sort of the first time I've really experienced it sort of full hand in being in the midst of the storm, literally at the moment. And somebody did mention earlier, it was Liz, who mentioned that we're waiting for the hurricane. So please, hopefully this isn't the eye of the storm. This is like the arrival of the storm. It's announcing it's on its way. And I'm guessing, looking at the weather, tomorrow we are going to be continued to be hit with these high rains, and earlier in the day yesterday afternoon there was some torrential rain. There was a very small little bit of flooding just down on the corner of my street here where I go and pick up my coffee in the morning. Nothing too major, but it was sort of slowing what traffic was going through down a little bit, and there was some very loud claps of thunder and some pretty scary flashes of lightning. So we will probably have another little look outside. I just heard some glass break. I don't know if you caught that on the camera there. It is a little bit scary. I don't really know what I should be doing. I'm on the 3rd floor. I don't think any locals in Cancun that are watching, if you heard of any like emergency warnings or alert that we should be sheltering in place or getting to low ground, I don't know, but I am on the 3rd floor, and I don't exactly want those windows to be shattering and hitting over me. In Florida and stuff, they have like storm like those sort of shields that they pull down over the windows to protect from such things. I don't know if I should be duct taping things up, and as I said, being a sort of prepper without any preps is making me feel awfully more agitated to the situation than once when I was lucky enough to have you know, all the things I kind of needed to survive such eventualities. And I was also in a basement up in Toronto, probably a place that you would be more safe through a hurricane than on the third floor of an apartment building. As they would say in Northern Australia, you are on the edge of a cyclone. It certainly does seem to be like that. As I said, there was a little bit of an announcement in the afternoon that there was some bad weather on the way, and it wasn't too bad for the majority of the evening, but the winds have gotten up and they seem to be continuing to get up. There was a little bit of a rattle of the window. Maybe I should move a little bit more out of the way, just in case. But imagine if you got to catch that live on a YouTube stream, the window breaking and me getting partially decapitated, blood coming out. Oh, that'd be something you'd want to screen record for sure. But let's have another little look out the window. Although, as I said, it is pitch black. I'm pretty sure, other than hearing what's going on. I don't know if you can catch those trees in the distance. I am aware I'm filming in black and white. Maybe I should change the filter for you. But it is a little bit scary. As I said, I've never really experienced a hurricane like this, and for the look of it, it is going to be going on for the duration of the day to come. It is the middle. I did try and get a little bit of sleep earlier, but the wind was howling and everything was rattling. I felt a little too agitated to sleep, so I'm a little bit on edge at the moment. So hopefully you guys that are watching will keep me company for a little while. I'm not going to be streaming for very long. It is quite late and I would like to try and get some sleep, but I just figured why not take this opportunity to do a late night stream and share with you the first sort of experience of me in a hurricane. And as I said, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. If we still have any of the local Cancunian folks watching, what are you doing to protect yourself? Is this like a sort of low-level sort of hurricane? Could I expect worse? Bear in mind, I am pretty much fresh off the plane. I've only been here just under 3 weeks. Actually, it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow I arrived, and I have had quite some adventures already. I've been held at gunpoint by a local gangster last week while out and about looking and doing some recording and looking around my neighborhood. That was scary. This week I've had a hurricane. God only knows what next week is gonna bring. But as I said, is this I know sort of Florida and that sort of part of the Gulf of Mexico are prone to hurricanes and usually are sort of geared up to it, and sort of locals that do get to experience it. I mean, I think it's pretty much summer doesn't go by when there's some kind of hurricane activity in this part of the world. The Gulf of Mexico and sort of the Caribbean shoreline does seem to attract an awful lot of crazy weather. Let's not forget Hurricane Katrina some years ago hit New Orleans. That come up through the Gulf of Mexico. But if or not we do have any locals still watching, let me know for sure if this is a sort of normal, just run-of-the-mill storm. I ain't seen nothing yet, or should we be a little bit worried? Should I get to lower ground? Should I be duct taping the windows? Well, that would be great, Tuna, except for the fact that I don't have a bath. I don't have a shower. I could fill up the sink, but I don't have any plugs, unfortunately, believe it or believe it not. As I said, I'm a prepper without any preps right now, and some of you guys that do watch long and have been watching for a while will know once upon a time I did have quite a fully loaded pantry and a whole bunch of survival equipment on ready and at hand for these things. Buckets of water, water purification tablets, fuel tablets, everything I could possibly need. And I think that is what is kind of making me feel a little bit more edgy than I should be, to sort of really be in a situation that is or could be considered emergency. It could potentially be disastrous. Let's fingers crossed it isn't. And as I said, being without any preps is a little bit of a a bit of a concern. And I don't even have any masking tape at the minute. I literally have a cup and a plastic spoon, a kettle and a toaster, and a microwave that doesn't work because my family sent it from England. It's on a different circuitry here, so even though I got adapter plugs, it's not enough power going into the units. So really and truly, I've only got a few items of sort of sandwich making things in my fridge right now. And those beans and ramen that I left behind in the basement in Toronto might be goodness, you know, it's crying over spilt milk. Let's not go down there. What are you saying there, Obese? Thanks for keeping me company, making some comments. At least, well, that's what they do. They used to advise when I was a kid in Australia. Yeah, no, it is pretty smart advice. Fill up the bathtub and tape up the windows. That's what I'm saying. Should I be taping them up? If only I had some tape, I probably already would have done so. Luckily enough, in terms of water, there's a fucking swimming pool outside, although it might get a bit contaminated. But within the sort of complex, the main building where I'm staying, where my apartment block is, there's a whole bunch of bottled water, like shitloads of it. So I'm not too worried in that respect about having no water to drink. Of course, if for not, this building pulls a Miami and half of it collapses and I'm going to be the lucky one that gets in the collapse in half, that might cause a little bit of problem navigating myself to the water. You'll be okay, but I would stay clear of any windows. Yeah, I'm going to probably push the bed right over against the wall, and I sort of literally had the window open to try and give a little bit of a look out there, but you can't really see anything, so I might as well. That might at least stop it from spraying into the bedroom. But anyway, as I said, guys, I'm sort of sitting here in the midst of the edge of the cyclone, as Tuna said. But I am a little bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. I don't even know if I do go to bed, if I will be able to sleep, or if I'm just going to sort of sit up and wait for this to sort of die down. It's hard to sort of get some sleep when you are a little bit at edge. Stay a window as it worsens. Yeah, I might even sleep over on my, I don't know if you know, I've got 2 beds, no other furniture, just 2 beds. So I could make use of that one that is nowhere near the window, and probably be a little bit of a safer bet there. But as I said, guys, I don't really got much else to say. I just thought I'd come and let you see what is going on here in the storm, and if or not it gets any worse, if I can stream a little bit later to give you an update on what is going on. But any local knowledge would be good. Any information of how long this storm is going to be hitting and where it is heading, because we do have some Texans and Louisianans and maybe a couple of Floridians that watch this channel that may be affected by this. And it wasn't so long ago also that Haiti had an earthquake, quite a devastating earthquake, quite a lot of life lost there, and this sort of weird, strange, devastating weather seems to be continuing hitting us here. There has never been a lack of light around. I see many from the south saying that light comes and comes back. Are you referring to the, thanks for your comment, Jemmy, sorry. Are you referring to about like the street lights and stuff? Are you talking about kind of lightning? Because there was some very sort of bizarre looking green flashes in the sky earlier in the evening. I did try and get the camera out, but as always, when you're trying to record it, it doesn't happen. And you're talking sort of south down to sort of Carmen area. Are they getting hit by this, or you mean in south of Cancun? From what I could see when the power went out here, the hotel zone, they sort of still had power, and I can sort of see the distance to the north of me. The lights seem to be on in sort of the downtown region of Cancun, but everything in this neighborhood was literally pitch black. Couldn't hear anything other than the howling wind, and it sort of did start to feel a little bit like a movie about to happen, you know, when all hell breaks loose and sort of weather gets out of hand and starts blowing cows and things and tractors. I'm like, oh my goodness, am I going to see those little sort of tuk-tuk motorbike taxi things floating around in the sky? Is it going to get a little bit Wizard of Oz? Is a little 50-year-old abuelita who sits out on a taco stand selling tacos to passers-by. Is she going to get swept up and swept away to Oz? But anyway, has there ever been a lack of light around? I mean, as I said, Jenny, I don't know if you heard, Jemmy, sorry, I've only really been here sort of 3 weeks, so I don't know sort of what is normal and what isn't normal at the moment. I've sort of been dealing with immigration lawyers in realtors in the UK and all sorts of stuff at the minute. I haven't really been able to sort of thoroughly get a grips to where I am. I sort of a little bit familiar with my immediate proximity, a few blocks sort of east, west, south, and north of me. But other than that, I'm pretty sort of clueless, and as I said, green and fresh off the boats. There is a sort of little Facebook group of expats in Cancun that I'm a part of. They were sort of saying that this isn't going to be a very bad storm, and they have sort of seen worse, and it will probably blow over, but it'll be a little bit scary for the duration. But there's, like, where I am in Bonfil, it's kind of not very developed, and there's not many sort of roads that are actual roads. It's very sort of dirt track, and there's not very many street lights around, but there is some illumination, and there is sort of quite a few sort of condo buildings sort of on the main road that I'm kind of clear that are always usually lit up at night. But as far as I could see, right out to the hotel zone and right to downtown, there was no power at all. But they really got it back up and running quite quickly, because when it went out, I was like, oh my god, how long am I going to be without power? And I do have my little radio, solar powered radio. There's also a power bank I can charge up my phone on there. I had one phone at full battery and one phone at about 48%, so I've sort of shut everything off, put them onto airplane mode to try and preserve the battery. And then lo and behold, I was just about to do a little bit of recording for an upload of me in the blackout, and the power went on, and I figured, seeing as the power come back on, rather than make an upload, let's do a little live stream, because usually live streams do get a few more viewers than when I do an upload. I'm in Cancun right now, and the winds are extremely strong. They are indeed. Is that ACM 1 point? Glad to see you. Welcome. Nice to have another local, although I'm not really that long of a local. I just moved here 3 weeks ago, as I was saying, and it's been quite an interesting 3 weeks so far. As I said last week, while out and about in my neighbourhood, trying to get a little bit of reconnaissance of what was available to me in my immediate proximity. There are some sort of grocery stores and some laundry mats, pharmacies. Everything I really could need, to be honest, is not too far away from me. But I'm happening to be walking through a neighbourhood that I was unfamiliar with, and having quite a lot of tattoos, and with a video in my hand. I was approached by a heavily tattooed faced individual with a Beretta 9mm who grabbed my phone out of my hand and started waving his gun around and screaming at me in Spanish. I sort of understood a couple of words. I really only know 1 or 2 words and a couple of phrases maybe. And that was a little bit scarier, and I'm not sure what was scarier. Oh my goodness, there was a huge bang. I'm not sure what that was. It sounded like maybe a door slamming perhaps, but that was scary. And I was about to say, I don't know what has been scarier of the 2 incidents, last week being held by gunpoint, or this week being in a hurricane. So Jemmy and ACM, what are you guys doing to sort of stay safe in these high winds? Have you got any concerns or worries, or have you been here for a while and this is all just normal? Like, you know, folks in Florida, they seem to just get on with it and sometimes have parties when there are hurricanes going on. I remember when I was there in a can't remember what hurricane it was, Hurricane Erin, I think, back in 2002, 2002, 2003 maybe. The resort that I was staying at, a big sports bar, and they battened down the hatches and locked everybody in and said, we'll just sit in the bar and watch football and eat beer, drink beer and eat wings until the hurricane passes. It's quite good fun. They had quizzes and karaoke and all sorts of shenanigans going on for the hurricane party there. I don't know if that's sort of something that folk do here, or is that just because Floridians are crazy? I don't know, just rambling on now to sort of keep myself from being truly scared than I would like to confess right now. As I said, I almost wish I had my little cozy basement up in Canada to hide out in, although if I could transport that here, it would be much better than sort of actually being in Canada. I wouldn't really want to be back in Canada at all, certainly not towards the back end of the summer with the winter months awaiting. Certainly once this hurricane hopefully passes by without too much devastation or destruction, we can get back to some nice sunny tropical days here, and where the winter is never ever going to affect me in the ways that it did in Canada, where you got -45 polar vortexes. You don't even want to know what a -45 polar vortex feels like if you've never felt a -45 polar vortex. Let's just say the refrigerator and the freezer in your kitchen would be warmer than the outside of a -45 polar. There's another huge bang. I'm actually landed today from New York, staying at a hotel. We were told to go inside the early. What a great day for you to arrive on vacation. Are you here on vacation, or are you like moving permanently? And we're told to stay in the hotel early at 5 p.m. and it started with heavy rains and some wind. Ooh, I don't know if that, did you catch that? I think the lights are flickering again. If I do cut out, it is because the Wi-Fi will, if the power goes out and I lose Wi-Fi, that will probably be why the stream cuts out. So I might even cut out before that eventuality happens, to be quite honest. But there are some heavy bangs. I don't know if we can have a look out and see if we can. Probably not. So you can see a couple of lights, I'm sure, in the sort of distance. But earlier it was pitch black as far as the eye can see, although it's not much brighter now. But those bangs are a little bit concerning, I'm not going to lie. It's probably going to be a sleepless night for me. It really is. And I was sort of worried an hour ago, and there was no big loud bangs like I just heard a second ago. So as I said, I sort of thought not only the purpose of the stream was to let some of you guys that follow this channel, maybe any locals that might be a little bit of worried, a little bit of community spirit in support group mentality, but I was looking sort of for the company, because I am seriously quite afraid right now of what may or may not happen. And as I said, I sort of did try to get into bed and fall asleep, but every time there was a loud bang, I was jumping up. So I figured, you know what, I'm probably going to have to make an all-nighter of things there. So it's good to see you, Maiden. It's certainly good to see a couple of newbies checking in. I'm pretty sure some of the locals really are sort of checking in because of the fact that this is titled Hurricane Grace Storm Watch. So you guys, wherever you are in Cancun, please stay as safe as you can. If you hear anything during this stream that is of importance, so don't have any sort of cable TV or local sort of, well, I've got the internet, I suppose, but I don't got any way of finding out if there are any local alerts. And also, not knowing very much Spanish, I probably wouldn't know what they were telling me to do, even if they did make an alert. So if you guys have heard anything there, so ACM, at least you guys are holed up in a hotel. So I don't know how the other residents are doing. Have they sort of boarded up the windows and stuff there, or have they told you to stay away from glass and you sort of isolating yourself in your room, or like you guys, you know, the holiday makers, you kind of sort of just getting on with your thing, maybe having a drink or two bite to eat while all this is going on. But it is, as I said, for me a little bit concerning. Down to only 3 people watching now, so it is quite late at night. Maybe it would be a good time now to start making or start saying goodbyes. And as I said, I'll probably try and move the bed a little bit away from the window and try and sit it out. I doubt I will be getting much sleep. But for those of you that did tune in, thank you for your company. I'll try and do a little update later if I can, to let you know what is going on with the storm here in Cancun. If or not my building is still remaining, if I can figure out or find out what those loud big bangs are, which are of some concern, I'm not going to lie. That would be interesting, and maybe if the storm dies down, we can maybe have a little look out the front, although not in the neighbourhood with a gun wielding faced tattooed gangster, but we might have a little look out the front and maybe in the safer areas and see if we can see any devastation. I'm pretty sure there's got to be a tree or two that's been blown over. Earlier they were literally I hope you don't mind if I took your comment and translated it. I'm on Twitter updating it. Absolutely not at all, Jemmy. As I said, a little bit again, sort of, oh my goodness, there's another one of those big loud fucking bangs. I said I don't know whether to stop streaming or keep streaming at the minute. You might be sort of keeping me a little bit from going all out panic stations. But yeah, no, again, the sort of updating of information and network of what is going on in sort of people on the street. Local knowledge is always welcome in situations like this. So if Jemmy, please feel free to do all the translating you want, and if you've got any information or feedback from Twitter, please feel free to share in the chat for as long as we do stream. I might go on just a little bit longer because, as I said, I'm a little bit worried. Maybe I should roll myself a little bit of something to calm the nerves. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I intend to say safe, Maiden. Again, all those Cancun people that are watching, you stay as safe as well. I don't know if it's a wise thing to do, but I am going to have a little smoke just to calm the nerves there. You get hurricanes and shit up in Montana. You get all sorts of weather there, Maiden. So this is probably a little bit normal for you, but certainly nothing I've experienced to this extent. But I mean, I don't really have any sort of informational news to share as to what is exactly going on in the city or elsewhere regarding the sort of storm. I can only sort of tell you what is going on in my immediate proximity, which is out my sort of patio window. We could go and have a look out the front if you want. That might be a little bit more illuminated. You know what? I should turn the fucking thing off. That would be a good idea. Won't blow away then. Oh my goodness. It's quieting down a little bit now. Maybe that is the eye of the storm. Sorry, just hydrating. It's been a while since I've streamed. I'm out of practice of talking constantly. Excuse me while I do a little bit of rolling. We have bad winds and tornadoes. What is, anyone can answer this, the difference between, I don't know the answer, I'm looking for the answer, that's why I'm asking. What is the difference between a hurricane and a tornado, or a typhoon for that matter? Because out in sort of Asia they get typhoons, some people get tornadoes and some people get hurricanes. I'm pretty sure there must be a differentiation between them if they have different labels, or are they just all the same thing that are called different things in different parts of the world? Any answers? wrong answers if you want, just for fun. Let's try and entertain ourselves a little bit, or rather entertain me, because I'm a little bit afraid, as I keep referencing and saying. So any answers, any ideas on the difference between hurricanes and tornadoes? So I'm rolling myself a little spliff if anybody's wondering what I'm doing. It is for medicinal purposes. It is to calm my nerves. And maybe have a little look out the front. So mix the weed and tobacco. And see what's going on, see if there's any damage out the front or any trees bending over. There's a little bit of illumination from the sort of pool area, so we might get a better look at stuff. Do you know what we could also do? I'll do that in a minute. We'll change the colour when we go and have a look outside. Yeah, the wind doesn't sound as wild at the minute. It's picking up a little bit. But for a second there, it really was quite quiet, and that was almost very as eerie as the wind. Sort of when you've been used to sort of hearing that noise, and it's been sort of since around 5 p.m. yesterday evening that the winds and the rain sort of first arrived, and we had a little sort of gap between the early evening and the late afternoon, the late night. Sorry, when this wave come in, so I don't know how many more waves. My goodness, what happens if the hurricane or the typhoon starts to get a variant typhoon or hurricane and starts battering us? What would we do then? Who knows? Sorry about that. So yeah, the wind really has stopped now, so this would be a good little idea. So let's go back to colour. Does it look better in colour or not? So good. Oh yeah, there's definitely some trees that have come down. There's a few branches I can see. There's a car just went by. I'm trying to be quiet because I've got a neighbour. I don't really want to wake them up too much if I can help it. Don't want to be that annoying guy. Oh, the size. The biggest difference is size. I'm in Bombville, HTM. I moved here. This is where I live now. This is my little apartment. So I'm about 4 miles away from the hotel zone. Funny enough, when I was looking out, that was the direction of the hotel zone. There didn't seem to be many lights on in that direction. When earlier I was looking. Habits, guys. Sorry about this. Don't really like smoking inside because of the smell. Let me extend the tripod. So, excuse me while I do have a little puff here. But yeah, Bombville is probably not somewhere many people who come here on vacation would see. A few sort of backpackers have sort of been in my apartment buildings this side, and the other side of the pool there's a bed and a breakfast hostel type place. We get a few, hostel type backpackers that roll in, but I don't really see them. They go off and do sort of touristy stuff, but the majority of holiday makers probably wouldn't come here. So I'm about 4 miles from the hotel zone and about 4 miles from the downtown. It's pretty, I don't want to say remote here, but it's a little bit rural. There's a few sort of tiny patches of farms and lots of dirt roads and stray dogs, and a couple of stray cats. There you go, calming the nerves already. So which ones are bigger, Maiden? Typhoons, tornadoes, or hurricanes rather? Are they bigger or smaller? Yeah, you stay safe too, ACM, and enjoy your stay in Cancun for however long it is you are gonna be here. Well, I'm gonna probably smoke this and say goodbye, chalks. I don't really think we got many folks watching at all anymore. Let me know if you're still watching. Give me my computer's over there. I can't see the screen from here. But at the same time, also thought it'd be kind of interesting to sort of record this for prosperity one day when the hurricane's gone. A little bit sort of like some of the Toronto videos I made last year. It might be interesting to go back and watch them at some point. And it's also, you know, good to go back and look at sort of experiences like this. Sort of not necessarily to be nostalgic, but to reminisce on times when you sat through a hurricane. And as I said, we'll probably do a little update later in the day. If things get better or worse, we'll let you know. Because it is very, very late at the night. I am on Central Time. I was on Eastern Time for the longest, and even that's got a little bit taken getting used to, even though it is an hour difference. But it certainly seems to be quite a few branches that have fallen down already. So I'm pretty sure when the daylight comes, we'll get out and have a look around and see the extent of the damage. I'm not sure what that loud bangs is. There is going on. There is a construction site. There's a condo building going on across the street here. I'm assuming it might be some of their materials or some of their stuff may have fallen down, although it did sort of sound as though it was coming from above, so I don't know if that was maybe doors slam. It didn't sound like door slamming. The sound is a lot heavier than a door. If or not stuff on the roof has come down, because the rooftop patio is under construction. It's not quite finished yet, and there's a few bits and pieces being held up with ropes on there. That wind's getting up again. I thought we might have had a little bit of a calm in or an eye of the storm, so I'd have been able to sort of try and get some sleep at least. Hurricanes are bigger. Thank you for that, Maiden. Some more top tips. Same time tomorrow, same channel. Tomorrow we'll be talking about what's bigger, a skip or a dumpster. We might be talking about. I'm just suggesting. So I don't know if anyone local is still watching, if they've heard about, I was just going to say, Yemi, I'm from Brazil, and we have many influencers who went to Cancun, and they're not giving news and etc. The Brazilians are very worried. I can't read that, it's a little bit small, I need to get on my computer, and posted as it's a novelty and accept. Okay, they're posting and just acting like it's a novelty. It's funny actually, I've met a few Brazilians coming in and out of here. There seems to be quite a few people from Brazil that come to Mexico to visit. Are you living here, Jemmy, or are you on vacation? But yeah, there's been about 3 or 4 Brazilians that I've met in the last 3 weeks that have sort of stayed for a few days or just were staying here because it's very close to the airport. It's only about 10 minutes from the airport where I am. So some people use it as just a one-night stopover spot. Don't really stay much longer, but I was talking to a lady from Brazil. She was here for one night. So quite a few people from Brazil here. Brazilians are very worried and stated and posted as if it is a novelty. I'm still, because one word's all together, I can't read it all. No need to apologise, it's my eyesight, not your typing. And particularly if English isn't your first language, fantastic job, because I really don't speak much Spanish. I speak some Italian, which sort of confuses me when I do try to speak Spanish. I sometimes revert into Italian, but I certainly don't speak any Portuguese. But this, for me right now, this isn't a novelty. This is actually quite nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie. The wind, the noises are very, very scary. And someone earlier said that this is just the peak of the storm. It's going to be raging all day tomorrow by the looks of things. I think we've got thunder and lightning according to the forecast. But I don't really have any sort of actual news of what's going on, or if there's any sites that have been devastated. But I was going to say, if anybody is local, could find out if there's power on in the hotel zone, because usually it's very illuminated. You can all see the sort of lights of a hotel, and there's quite a few high rises down there that you can also see illuminated at night. And it seems very, very dark over there. I'm not saying it is without power, but it's just quite regular to see lights. Unless, of course, they shut them down because of the storm, but I don't know why. It's not like there's thunder and lightning that would attract to them, although not yet. There's probably some on the way. Fun times here in Cancun. Never a dull moment, and even the dull moments are interesting somehow, some way or another. But to be honest, it is all life experience, as scary as it is right now. Hopefully, as I said, I sometimes do always gravitate to the worst case scenario in any given situation. To be honest, that is sort of a little bit of my default programming. But there was a meteorologist on the little sort of Cancun expat group that I joined just to see if I can get some local knowledge and information from. And he seemed to think that there wasn't really too much to be worried about. They've seen worse storms here, and it probably will just be a very scary and loud storm until it passes over. But Saturday is looking like it will be back to normal, sunny skies with a few clouds in back. In see, there's another one of those bangs. Doesn't sound like thunder. It does sound like something's banging on something. Wonder if a tree will snap over. Sorry if I'm not talking. I'm sort of observing what's going on. I'm a little bit in wonder. It's like scary wonderment. It's like, wow, I want to watch what's going on. And part of me wants to go out and explore and see if I can find what the big bangs are. But I'm pretty sure that would be an unwise course of action to take. If it was in a movie, that would be the person that would end up getting a log or something toppling down and crushing in you, or steel girder. And just sort of die there painfully with nobody knowing he's even gone. So that would be the situation with me. I am a loner here. I haven't got any sort of friends or family in immediate location to me. Everybody is in different countries, in different parts of the world who is close to me. So if anything did happen, it would be some time before anybody was known. So that is again why I do attend to sort of do a little stream later on in the day, just to let you know that I am still alive. And any of those of you that do have contact details to my loved ones, and there are one or two of you, in the worst case scenario, or if there is any power, maybe you can get message out if that does happen. But fingers crossed it won't. Maybe it'd just be fun to sort of have a little smoke and read a book and stay away from windows, and see if I can find some duct tape at the store in the morning just to be safe. But that might be a little bit like putting the condom on after you've slept with the hooker. Won't be much point to it at all if the windows are already smashed. But that is one of the things that is making me extra agitated, as I've mentioned previously, is the fact that I really don't have any of my preps at all, other than my wind-up radio. It's probably going to serve me no use at all, although maybe I could get some information on it if there was a disaster, and maybe charge up my phone if needed to. But that certainly helps. I do feel a little bit calmer and sort of having the ability to chat with the handful of folks that did tune in to this live Stormwatch stream. You certainly helped me through the last 40 or so minutes. Should we try and round it up at an hour? Why not? It'd be rude not to, although I sometimes say that and then absolutely run out of things to say. And it has been a little while since I've done regular streaming. It's been sort of 3 weeks before I was leaving Canada. I was a little bit busy packing and discarding stuff and making arrangements and stuff. And sort of since I've been here, the sort of personal stuff hasn't sort of quit. I was thinking I was going to get a month or two gap between sort of the stress of leaving and relocating before I had to get into the other stressful stuff, although it's a good time for stressful once it is completed, for me at least. But at the same time, I've still got to be talking to lawyers and dealing with all sorts of things like that that do take a little bit of my time and attention away, especially dealing with different time zones. I'm up early in the morning, sometimes on video calls, and then having to deal with lawyers here later in the day. So lots still going on. So although I sort of have landed and sort of got myself a little bit familiarised, I still haven't sort of landed completely. And slowly and surely the pieces of coming together. You know, I've got a computer now. I've managed to fix the phone that the microphone didn't work, and I managed to get Wi-Fi. So each and every week I suddenly accumulate little by little the things that I'm not saying need, but the things that I sort of rely on to make my streaming a little bit more easier. And certainly in the coming weeks, hopefully I'll be able to acquire a few more things that will make my living conditions here a little bit more comfortable than they already are. Although really truly I don't want for much more than I have. I've got a bed, I've got a little kitchen, I've got a bathroom, I've got a pool, I've got sunshine, I've got a little something to smoke. Don't need anything more than that, unless of course I do discover that the Olsen twins have been stranded in the hurricane and need a place to stay, and they're willing to do almost anything for shelter and refuge through the storm. But that is unlikely to happen. But wishful thinking, Olsen twins appear, manifest. It's not working. That's what I'm saying. If we could manifest our own reality, we'd all be in Lambos and have our own Olsen twins in the cupboard. But nonetheless, guys, as I said, we will try to wrap this up shortly. If anyone's got anything else to say, anyone's got any knowledge or information in the local area that may be of importance for me to know, or anyone that is watching, although there aren't that many, that we can inform anyway. But it has been a little bit more for the experience of the hurricane and more for your company that have sort of helped alleviate some of the nerves and anxieties that this high wind and howling rain has been causing to me. And I'm sort of rambling now in a nervous way. Some of you probably never seen me this nervous before in the few years that I've been a YouTuber. And this is really, again, sort of one of the more real life scary experiences I'm sharing with you live. Probably not the best idea to start recording the gun-toting guy with a gun in my face, although I did sort of catch a little bit of the lead up to it, and you sort of hear him sort of come over and shouting, and at that sort of point I turned the camera off and tried to hide it away. But the next thing, Beretta gun, fuck me, I'm about to get robbed, lose my money, lose my phone. Worst case scenario, I'm going to get shot in the belly and die in the gutter in Mexico. But funny enough, I come away with my phone, my money, didn't get shot in the belly, and even fist bumped the guys that pointed a gun in my face. And it's better to be friendly with the local gangsters than to be their enemies. Thanks, Tuna. Hopefully there's nothing to worry about, but it would be foolish not to worry about things. It's better to be prepared than to not be prepared, even if it is just mentally. And as I said, it would be very, a little bit more secure knowing that I did have my preps on hand. So can I drag this out for another 7.5 minutes? Please, someone say something, ask a question, let me know what's going on if you can, if you've heard any information in the local proximity of Cancun, if there's anything to be aware of. Otherwise, we will start saying our goodbyes. So thanks, Tuna, for the wishes of good luck, and hopefully we won't need them. I'll probably go and lie down, sleep like a baby, perhaps, and it will all be over. Fingers crossed, and things won't collapse or devastate. The roof won't fall in, the glass won't shatter, in little abuelitas won't be swept away in torrential winds off to the land of Oz. Although they might have a good time if they do get to Oz. Yellow Brick Road, meet Scarecrow, the Lion. What was the other one? The Tin Man. The Tin Man, of course. Who could forget the Tin Man? If only he had a heart. So all that remains, I guess, let's get our little dancing girl into position, and I'm going to abandon the let's roll it up to the hour. But anyway, guys, thank you. As I said, oh, that's not it. Wrong. Oh, there's another big bang. There it is. There it is. So let's line that up. So, anyone watching in Cancun, stay safe, stay sheltered, stay in touch. You can follow me on Twitter. That's probably how you found this, if you're on Twitter, how you found this link. Stay updated. Come back and watch another stream later in the day, where hopefully we will bring you a Storm Watch update on Hurricane Erin. Until then, guys, stay safe. Be excellent to each other, and may the force be with us all. See you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Good night, and God bless to you all.